Okay. Looks like the audio is working this time. I think we're good. All right, so thank you everybody that showed up for today's meeting, today July 15th, 2025. This is the FamiLAB July meeting. For those of you on the call, please mute your mics, and everybody here, if you have any questions, please just kind of give my attention, raise your hand. If you speak over each other, the speaker kind of goes nuts and those guys can't hear anything. Same with them, if they start speaking, they can't hear either. So just flag me down, I'll make sure you get a chance to talk. So the sign-in link, if you can, go to l.familab.org/sign-in so that we can do a head count of everybody that's here. It only takes a few seconds. And like I said, just hold crosstalk and questions. Just flag me if you need something. Everybody online, just raise your hand if you would like to say anything. You guys can hear us online, right? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So what did you say that was?
It's l.familab.org/sign-in. SIGNIN. What's that? l.familab.org/sign. Then the agenda also on the agenda can be found in Slack. Okay, so financial update. We have, I believe we still have 62 paying members. I think we might be a little bit higher. I don't know if we updated this since last month. I know I think we had a couple signups and nobody leaving, so this might not be right. We might be a little bit higher than 62. I just haven't had the time, which we'll go over that in a minute, but I haven't had the time to go over it. But we do still have our 17 special cases. So our P&L for July, yeah. Our P&L for July, this is actually supposed to say August. Okay. It's the August monthly meeting, not July. I'm all mixed up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's been a month. So the P&L for July is negative 263 about. We're not. That's kind of like. I mean, it's the correct math, but it's not in terms of that month. Last month we got the Oshkosh donation that from Oshkosh from I think his name's Chris Gearpuller. He nominated us through his company, the company that he works for, Oshkosh, and they awarded us $3,500 for that. Plus, we had an extra dust collection unit that we were getting rid of, and one of our members donated money for that as well. So technically, we're actually more like 4,000 in the positive, but just to keep the monthly average going, we're negative 263 for the month, which is good because, as you guys can tell, that number keeps going down month to month because we're getting more members. And as you can see, we have new people here now. It's great to see new people. This is awesome. Which kind of brings me to the next conversation, which is the current board members really need help. So new people, you can feel free to join in on that if you want. But basically what it's coming down to is, as that long story I told you about the lawnmower, that's just one of my issues throughout my my new adventure that I have with this property. So that plus my business has been picking up a lot more. So I am at the point to where this is the last meeting that I'm going to be able to run, and it's my duties, my responsibilities. I can't fulfill my responsibilities for the board anymore. So I'm going to stay on the board and kind of help out with some stuff and try and get a transition, but we need members on the board. And when I say, I mean, we need members, I've been saying that like I'm beating a dead horse. At this point, we need members or the doors are going to close. Because it has to have, legally we have to have 3 board members, plus it just needs board members to function properly. Right now, we're fighting a previous IRS bill from before we were board members, before when we were at the old space that just happened to pop up, and we're trying to renew insurance and things like that. Those are the kind of things that we need board members to help with. I have noticed that a lot of people are doing a lot more around the space on an operations level, which is absolutely awesome, and I appreciate that. I think everybody appreciates that because it's cleaner, it's nicer, and it's more organized. But we definitely still need board members because they are the ones that, like I said, keep the doors open, keep things together, keep the lights on. So it's pretty critical right now. To give you an example, myself and Justin are the only ones on the bank. And if I fully step down, I do not want to be on the bank for legal reasons. That would leave just Justin. And Justin has been very busy. He's not even on the meeting today because he's out of town. And he's got a going away party for his old to new job transition. So that's just kind of giving you an example of how busy we are. The other two board members, Matthew has been extremely busy with the new, I think he's still working on the new Epic thing for, I think it's Epic.
Universe. Epic Universe.
Yeah, Epic Universe, yeah. And Johan has obviously moved to Chicago right as we moved here, but he's been trying to help. He's just extremely busy out there as well. So kind of like me and Justin have been doing most of, or if not all of it. And if we can't, then the door's closed. So we definitely need help with that. If anybody has any interest in doing it, please reach out to me directly. I will give you all of the knowledge that I have. I will be your contact. I mean, I can still answer questions and whatnot while I'm working. It's just I can't do the agenda, the meetings, everything like that. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, let me know or let the board know. I also made a post about it and in Slack.
My wife told me I could volunteer to help with Florida.
You could? Is that what you said?
Oh, that's great.
Usually we hear the reverse. My wife told me I can't. I can't be here all the time. Like, that's usually how it goes.
Out of the house again.
Okay, we can talk about it later if you'd like. All right, so let's see. Housekeeping, the leaks. There is a significant, I only see one, but it didn't rain that much today, but it leaked a lot for how much it rained. So this is kind of on me again. This is one of the things that we need help with is I forgot to reach out to the landlord, so I will be doing that tonight. I'll probably just text him right after this meeting. He's usually pretty quick to respond. He usually gets his guy out here pretty often, especially during the rain because it's an old building. It's got leaks. He's got leaks all over this building. So he's constantly got the guy going through and fixing. So I'll try and get with him and see if he can get somebody to, or see if he can get Dennis out here to patch it for us. Unfortunately, it's right over where we had the table saw, which created a problem. I don't know. We didn't really go back and look at the camera. I don't want to point blame at anybody, but it looks like somebody was trying to do something to clean up rust on the table saw, and they used the exact wrong stuff, and it created a mess. Mike was able to clean it up was that Tuesday, Mike? He was here Tuesday, and he
Yep.
Get it
Yeah, I started and Justin helped finish it up.
Yeah. So it's good now. I think every once in a while it's going to need some more wax and stuff put on it because he basically had to almost sand it down. So just be mindful of that. If I know it was just a mistake, but it's something that like you could say, pop in the Slack, say, hey, I was trying to do this. I screwed up. I think I used the wrong stuff, and now it's gotten way worse. That's fine. Let us know. You're not going to get kicked out of the group for that. You're not going to get banned. You're not going to get yelled at. You're not going to get charged. But if we know about it, then we know that we can come in and just take care of it or find somebody to take care of it before somebody needs it. Because if somebody needed it at that time and instead had to spend hours to clean it up before they could use it, that's the worst part. That's when you come to the lab and you have to fix something before you can use it. That's frankly one of the reasons I left the first time I left back in like 2017 or whatever. So keep that in mind. Again, if you break something or if you see something wrong or whatever, report it in Slack. You're really never going to get in trouble for it unless it was intentional. Or you're strapping stuff to your car and jousting with it. Or I don't know. I really don't know. You'd have to do a lot for us to get mad at you. Normally, we're like, that's a FamiLAB member. So anyway, it's good now.
If your
but
tools break, it just means you're using them.
yeah, exactly. So and a lot of times you can't get proper training, so you use YouTube. And yeah, you might have did something wrong. And just it's okay. Figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll help you through it. We'll get it fixed. It's not a big deal. But in the meantime, while it's leaking, everything's kind of pushed over. So if you are going to use the table saw, and it's not raining, so it's not dripping on you or the saw, go ahead and move it back. Use the table saw. Make sure you move it out of the way though, because we don't want it to continue to get dripped on and have to be in that whole boat all over again, because it will rust and then you have to go through the process. Basically the same process Mike did earlier, except not as in-depth. Anyway, if you do notice any other leaks, let us know. Just message the board or go into the Lab Ops and Management channel in Slack. Just type up a message there and say, hey, this is where I found. The more detail you can give us, the better we are. If you take pictures, that's the best. Last time, Kristen took like, I don't know, 10 pictures or something like that because we had like 5 leaks. And I sent it all over to the landlord. He's like, "That is awesome. I wish all my tenants would do that." So yeah, and they got fixed pretty quickly after that because he knew exactly where to go. So just keep that in mind. Moving on, Amazon wish list. Just keep this on here all the time. It's just another way to donate. If you want to donate but don't want to donate money specifically, or maybe you use something often that you want to donate a part to it. The Amazon wish list has stuff on there that we've added that is either parts that are needed or upgrades that could be done or tools that could be used, things like that. And if you want to add something to it, like kind of like if you want to basically crowdfund something or just see if other people want to buy it, just let me know and add it to the list. It's just a list. It doesn't cost us anything. Workshops, open house, etc. This is always on here as well. We still need more of them. We have had some pretty cool ones lately. I haven't been here very often, but when I have, there's been a good amount of people here. And one time there was a Learn Masada that was going on. Dustin brought in a group from he does some cybersecurity stuff. Yeah, and they brought in a whole group of people and they did soldering and whatnot. Even if that doesn't get us a sign up, that gets them to talk about FamiLAB with other people and whatever. So the more events we have, the better. I think, John, you still doing the anime night?
Yes.
Every Friday?
Yes, every Friday, 7 to 9.
That's the other thing is repeating ones. If you do an event and nobody shows, do not get discouraged. I did 3D printing for 4 months before really I had more than 2 people show up. So just continue to do it over and over again, and you'll see people eventually start coming in. If nobody does come in, maybe it's the wrong time, maybe it's the wrong day, or maybe just nobody's really interested. But if it's something fun you like to do anyway, just do it.
We had an extra person show up last week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she came in and she wasn't a member.
No.
But she was really interested in it. I gave her the tour and we got to talking. And I was like, "Where's your car?" She said, "Oh, I Ubered it. Ubered it from where?"
Nice.
And she said, I don't remember what she said, but yeah, Dr. Phillips.
Oh wow, that's far.
And so I'm just like, you know what? There's another makerspace a lot closer to you. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, don't be afraid to send people to MakerFX as well. They do the same for us. If somebody's up this way, they'll be like, "Oh, they're closer." But I've even had people say, "I've been to MakerFX, but they don't have this or that. You guys do." So you never know. But yeah, don't be afraid to point people in that direction as well, because
Our mill is bigger.
it's still a community. What's that?
Our mill is bigger.
I don't think they have any metalworking, do they?
I was there. They had a laser machine that could cut into metal. They might have a plasma machine too. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been a while, and I was focused on getting free soldering kits.
Last time I was there, they didn't have metalworking, but they were. I think they just expanded a little bit lately. So. Anyway,
I expanded a bit really good too.
Speaking of Maker Faire is going on November 8th and 9th. Something I realized because I've been so busy, I just realized today and why I posted it, I don't even think we signed up for Maker Faire yet. There should be absolutely no reason that we don't go to Maker Faire. We should be at Maker Faire. I can do the sign up process, but I have to have some kind of guarantee that people are going to help and people are going to be there. John will be there? Okay. Jack will be there? All right. I'll go ahead and do the sign up then today. And tonight probably, and we'll get started on it, get that moving. I know Justin and I have a big project that we're trying to get off the ground and do, the wood toys to put them together. We're probably going to need more help with that than we originally thought.
If you can give me some time today, I know somebody who wants to help with that.
Okay. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is first of all, we gotta figure out, we're either gonna have to hand cut all of them with the bandsaw, which I think the bandsaw is still kind of quirky right now.
Okay.
But the idea was to cut everything on the CNC, but there's something going on with the CNC. Justin was having trouble with the CNC where it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't calibrated properly or something. It wasn't cutting all the way through no matter how thick he put it. I don't know. I'd have to look at the file and everything to see what's going on. But so that's one thing. Like if I don't have to worry about board duties, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop doing board duties and focus on those because those have to get done for Maker Faire. So as long as we know for sure we have people help out, I'll go ahead and sign us up for Maker Faire. But then I'm going to focus on those things. So.
I've done stuff like that on a bandsaw before.
Yeah.
If it's not too thick of a blade, I can get in pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just we plan on doing 50 of them, and there's like 5 or 6 parts per dinosaur or per whatever it is. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
And a shark.
Yeah, alligator and a shark. That's right. We'll figure it out. If I'll come in another day soon and check out the CNC unless somebody else wants to check it out and see what's going on. Just do some test cuts and see if everything's working. If everything's working, I'll go back and look at the file and figure it out. If it takes too long, we'll just jump in the hand cutting them. Because we got the money from Oshkosh, some of that money is supposed to go to this project. So we're ready to go buy the wood. We just didn't want to buy the wood until we're ready to actually do the cuts and everything.
Happy to help with sorting that CNC thing out. If somebody can give me a little, somebody has to be here to know what's going on with it.
Okay. I'll give you a quick rundown before I leave then. If you get time.
Happy to help as well
Okay.
with making or fixing whatever you guys may need.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. So the other thing is for Maker Faire, a couple of our members have gotten together and said that they will donate money up to $500 for people to do a project. So if you have a project that you want to do, we talked about this before, but just for anybody who hasn't heard it, if you have a project you want to do and you can't fund it or you're having trouble funding it, let us know what the project is and how you're going to complete it before Maker Faire. And we have up to $500 that we can give to various members to complete those projects. That's how bad we want stuff at Maker Faire. If it's something interactive, that's better. Don't focus on that though. Anything showy that'll stop people or anything fun and nerdy, it's Maker Faire. Everybody's gonna love it. But if it's interactive, that's better just because that stops people and gets them to be there for a little while. So, all right, moving on. Outreach. The next meeting is August 7th. It's been pretty slim. I think it's just been me and Justin for quite a while with the outreach. I don't know if we're going to change the meeting day. I don't even know if I showed up to the last one, to be honest with you. That's so crazy.
As of 5 o'clock, there is a little wooden container that says FamiLAB on it that has our flyers in it at the Hourglass Brewery.
Nice.
Which I will recommend.
Yes. Yeah, they are awesome.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
They used to be better than. There's this one beer called Stupid Pumpkin Face. When they first opened, I love pumpkin type beer, and I know I'm going to drag people through this story, but anyway, they had a beer. It was a pumpkin spice beer. It was called Stupid Pumpkin Face. It was a nice light beer. I love the light beers. I don't like the real hoppy stuff. Most people that are in the craft brew are opposite of me. It was great. I loved it. It was like probably one of the best beers I ever had. And it was super popular, but for some reason, the following year, they decided to barrel age it. and it got just way too complex and didn't taste great. And then like I think they stopped making it after that. They did another year. They changed it again. They kept changing it. And I was so upset with them because I was like, I was going there like all the time, and then I was like,
I used to like Nature's Valley ranch dressing to dip my carrots in, and they changed the flavor. Well, the flavor's the same, but they changed the texture of it. So it's like it was thinner instead of thicker, so it's harder to dip in.
Yep.
They used to keep it.
I noticed that too. I thought I was just being crazy.
Nature's Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely cut down
It used to be stocked right next to the baby carrots. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, why did the NBA this so bad?
All right. Anyway, social media. Part of more of like ops is we need somebody to help us with social media because we're not doing great with it. We've had a couple people try and we just don't have time, don't have the experience. But basically, we have a channel. I made this. It's on the agenda. It's called I Made This, and people post stuff in there that they've made. That stuff just needs to get on social media, even if it's just on Facebook, and it's already linked. Facebook's already linked to the Instagram, so you can post them both at the same time. It's pretty easy. It's just a little time consuming. If anybody can do that, we really appreciate the help. But if you're still making stuff and posting in there, please do so. Please continue to post it in there. At a very minimum, it shows off to other people what you make at the lab. But just make sure if you do want to post it, if you want yourself tagged, let us know, and also put a description of it. Because a lot of times we get pictures and we post them, people are like, that's cool, is it made from this or this or that or this? And we can't answer them. It kind of feels a little mean. Because we're like, just shut up and look at pictures, right? So yeah, just keep some kind of little description to it. If you want to go in depth, you can. If you want to be tagged, you can, because I know everybody here loves Facebook. So then that way you can be on the thread and respond to it. But anyway, moving on.
So the process is put it on the Slack channel. I made this, and then somebody needs to be responsible for posting that to social media.
Yeah. Usually that's how we've done it in the past. If anybody thinks of a better way, let me know. But you gotta, in order to post on the Facebook, you gotta be an admin of the group, which we have a few admins. We could add more. We just don't want to, open it up to anybody and everybody that wants to jump on there. So just let me know if it's something anybody's interested in. I can make you the admin. And yeah. If you do it right, like if you really kind of dedicate yourself to it, you could do like post a week at a time or 2 weeks. I think you can post 2 weeks ahead, or is it a month ahead? I can't remember. I used to do it with my business too, and I stopped doing it just because I hate posting. But it's like you can schedule posts so far ahead. Now I wouldn't schedule every day, but maybe twice a week or something like that. But you can post them ahead of time so that you could do like. I think you can do a month. So you could do an entire month and then just put something on your calendar to go back right before that expires and do another month. Something like that. I did do it for a little bit, but it did seem to help our presence. So that's the only reason I push that is because I think that's something that does actually help our presence.
We don't do it intentionally, but we theorize that we're doing search engine optimization from our activities.
Right.
When we have activities, people are like, yeah, you're like the first people on a Google search. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird because like we haven't done anything for search engine optimization. We haven't done, but like we've had people like very few times have we actually put the events that we do on Eventbrite. But I've had at least 2 or 3 people come to events saying, "Oh, I found this on Eventbrite." I'm like, I don't even know what Eventbrite is. But yeah,
it's one of the options when you sign up to host your.
I'm kidding. I know what it is, but yeah, it definitely does boost it, even though you don't think it wouldn't do much. So yeah, something to consider.
I checked the Eventbrite box and like, yeah, it's only who cares?
We used to do every event on Eventbrite.
Yeah, and it's cool because you could do tickets even if you wanted to be free, you could still do tickets, and that kind of gives you an idea of how many people are coming, at least a minimum, because they said they're going to But yeah, you could do paid ones too, and the funds will obviously go to FamiLAB, but we'll send them to you if that's something you want to do. If you want to do a paid event, but the only problem with that is that we were able to automate the system where John every week puts in his calendar event for anime night. It goes directly to the calendar, but if he's checking that box, nobody's looking at it to see that he checked that box, so we don't actually end up putting it on Eventbrite. So we do need people to do those kind of tasks.
No, I checked the box for Eventbrite.
Yeah, I know, but nobody saw that you checked it, so nobody put it on Eventbrite. That's the manual part. The Eventbrite is manual. The Eventbrite, so we get a notice that you put it in, but everybody's so busy that they're just like, oh yeah, John's doing something. It's already on the calendar. We're good. They forgot about Eventbrite. Yeah.
So what's the point of me ticking the box?
Just keep doing it. Somebody will eventually start putting it on Eventbrite.
Okay.
Yeah. Once we get more people into that side, we can, like I said, I can show anybody any of this stuff. A lot of this stuff when I joined, a lot of the board members were already MIA at that point. I learned a lot of it from Lily, and then some people like Kyle and Mike that had been here forever, and they knew certain things. So pretty much everything I learned or everything I know about the lab, I had to learn. It took me a while. I'd rather transition to somebody else and be their point of contact than having to force them to do that, because it took me a long time to learn everything. So, but things like that, Eventbrite. If you want to take over the Eventbrite stuff, let me know. We'll put you on the email list so that when John or whoever puts those in, you'll see. And if they check the box they want it on Eventbrite, you can put it on Eventbrite. One of the problems is a lot of times they don't fill it out all the way. You got to ask them questions about it. If they want to do a paid one, you got to set up the interaction with them in order to do the paid one. So it's not just something we can just quickly automate. But like I said, it does. I've had at least 3 people, and we weren't using it that long. We had at least 3 people find us on Eventbrite for. So I think the more we kind of spread those out, and the more often we do them, going back to that SEO stuff, I think is that that SEO stuff. I think it just kind of picks the search engine just kind of pick that stuff up, stuff that's doing it more often anyway, and it's public. It's going to pick it up anyway, and it's going to put it higher in the search results, regardless of the keywords and stuff you're doing inside SEO. So just keep that in mind, and let me know if you have any desire to help with it. I think that's it. I was going to keep this meeting pretty short anyway, because I do kind of got to be gone.
Watch out for the hurricane.
Yeah, what's is that? I thought that was gonna miss us.
There's another one coming up behind it that is projected to go a little bit farther south.
Ugh.
In a week, it could be here.
Okay.
Still
So,
too early to know.
Speaking of that, we do have a hurricane. I forget the name of the policy. It's a policy that if there's a big storm coming, especially hurricanes, obviously because we're in Florida, the board will determine whether or not we need to shut the place down. And when we do, there is no access to it. We disable the door, we lock everything up. The extra key will stay out there for emergencies for those of you who have the lockbox code. But we ask that nobody come here during that time because, frankly, our insurance doesn't cover it. It's not a place to hunker down. I wouldn't want to be in this building in a big storm. As much as I love this place, this is not the building I would want to be in, especially with all them leaks. I can see the roof tearing off right away.
And generally, in the past, we have kind of followed the same closures of like schools and stuff. Because if they're closing schools, generally we close the lab.
Correct.
And then the other thing is, if obviously, like you said, don't shelter at the lab, but also once it's safe to reopen, we also generally like turn off power and stuff like that. So once it's safe to reopen, and once one of the board members or people with a key have a chance to go and check the place out and turn everything back on, we'll reopen. we all have lives too. So if there's a delay in reopening after a storm, it's not the end of the world. The lab didn't close. It's just that we have to take care of our own houses and families and stuff and make sure it's safe for us to get there too.
Right. Thank you, Mike. And going on that though, the reason I said the board will determine it is, yeah, we do kind of go based off of school closing and whatnot, but if it looks like it's pretty imminent and the board or the people that need to close down the lab only have a certain amount of time to do that, we might have to close it early. I know, I think last time we closed, I did see some comments in Slack like, well, it's not even close yet. It's not projected till this day. Why are we closing now? And that's because that was the time that I was able to get out here and shut things down and get everything closed up. I think it was me. I don't know. Somebody, the time somebody was able to get out here and do that. So just keep that in mind. It's for safety. It's not anything else other than safety. So yeah, but we will definitely let you know both on Slack, but we also we try and make a social media post as well for people who, potential numbers that might show up. So. But yeah, okay, so did anybody have anything else? We're going to open discussion now. Anybody online have anything? Tristan, were you the one that was here earlier talking with me?
Yeah, I was there earlier around like 5.
Okay, so I thought, did you want to introduce yourself or?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tristan. I'm a recent college graduate, and I found this found this lab from one of my coworkers, and I was thinking of trying to make like first a watch, but maybe even a hobby rocket, if I can figure all that out. Might be a little ambitious.
Anybody have any questions for Tristan?
How'd you find out about us? Through a work friend?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, my work friend Michael. Not this Michael King.
I don't think we have enough of precision tools to make like a whole watch by itself. Like if you're making a watch completely with your own gearing and everything, I don't know if we have the stuff for that.
You surprisingly we do. You should watch the Click Spring channel.
What?
The what challenge?
Click Spring.
Click Spring.
Yeah, he makes extremely precision tools using primitive devices.
Oh wow.
He actually starts with like raw brass rods and like wooden tools and stuff, and makes tools that are precise enough to make extremely precise mechanisms. He's got a few very long running projects on his channel that are just amazing. I'm happy to share it in the chat. I'll do that in just a minute here.
I think Kyle just did actually.
Oh, thanks, Kyle.
Oh, nice.
Building the world's first
entirely
computer.
new YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yep, I found new videos to fall asleep to.
All right. Anybody else? Any of the new?
Sounds like we have new people. Maybe you should mention the process for joining the club, or
Okay. Yeah, I think we normally talk about it during the tour, but basically the process is that you just really need to come to at least 2 events. Like today is obviously going to count, and then another event, either one of the Oaken events, or you could even just reach out in Slack and say, hey, is anybody going to be around today? I'm a potential member. Kind of want to come in and hang out for a little bit, just for you to get to know people a little bit more. Just because we want to make sure that you're a good fit, and for us as much as we are for you. We don't want to just let anybody in that's going to break stuff and go crazy. It's very rare that we have. I don't think in my tenure we've even had that problem. We've had a couple interesting characters, but they're great people. So I mean, but yeah, that's really all it is. Then from there, actually on like your second time, just be like, hey, I've been here a couple times. Who do I talk to about getting signed up? It'll be myself. Right now, it's really just myself and Justin. Kristen can kind of help if she's around. She mostly messages me. I do some stuff on the back end. She does the rest. But anybody involved in operations wants to learn that process, I can teach you that as well, so that we can get more people to be able to do that. Because like I said, my time is going to be kind of slim. So, but if you do want to join, come back a second time, you don't necessarily find anybody while you're there. While you're here, message us, either email board@familab.org or go in the Slack and message the board there. And just say, hey, I'm ready to sign up, and we can get you started in some way. Probably need to meet you here for your badge or your fob, whatever. But everything else we can set up remotely. So that's usually how Kristen does it. She handles the badge side, and I do everything remotely, get you signed up.
So attend a couple meetings with members.
Yep.
And then talk to an officer to get
Yep.
the application, and then we don't vote on people anymore, do we? Or?
No, in the past we used to do a whole voting thing, and there were even more complicated ways where you had to basically get people to vouch for you, so you had to be here.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
One of the reasons for that was the growth was going too fast, so they had to do things to kind of slow it down. Plus, on top of that, it was very hard for you to do, because I know I started when they were still on the tail end of voting, and you were supposed to get the thing signed by at least one person or whatever. And it was hard to get here to meet people because you didn't have a key, you didn't have a fob, and you'd go in Slack and ask if people were there. We'd have to look on Fanduino and people are there, and then you come here and you don't really know the people. Even though I'm up here standing talking to everybody, I'm not that great with social interaction, especially with new people. So for me to kind of go in there and just be like, "Hi, my name's," it was very awkward. And then they had you, like, I asked if you guys want to introduce. I was asked, I'll force you. You were put in a room with everybody surrounding you, and you got up and talked about yourself, and it was very icebreaker. I hated it. But a lot of other people did like it. I don't want to say it was bad. A lot of other people did like it, but we've kind of changed since then. We've kind of letting people come in, feel it out, and let their relationship with it grow organically. So yeah, no more voting, no crazy complicated ways. Keep in mind we do have cameras, so if you are crazy that wants to steal stuff, we'll probably figure it out. Hopefully in time, and not be like, well, it was here 3 months ago. But like I said, we usually don't have any problems. But yeah, with that in mind, there is Fanduino where you can go in the Fanduino. There's a room in Slack called Fanduino. You should be added to it automatically when you're added to Slack. And what it does, it takes a picture. Every one of these cameras takes a picture once every 15 minutes, puts it into a collage, and posts it in there, so you can kind of see what's going on. So if you're bored at home and like, well, I don't really want to go up there unless there's a bunch of people that I hang out with, you can look at Fanduino and be like, oh, okay, so and so's there. I'm gonna go stop by, because not everybody looks at Slack all the time. But the cameras are mostly here for safety. So if you do have any weird, bad, or otherwise interactions or questions, let us know. There is a policy for the board to check the cameras. Technically, it's supposed to be an incident. We, have other people there for security and liability. But in all honesty, if something crazy happens, I will go and check the cameras just to see what happened. Talk to that person if I need to. But we've really never had to have that conversation or have those issues. So, but it's kind of trailing off there.
It's because we have the cameras.
Is it? I think it's because we have a good group of people, honestly.
Stop John.
I think it's because we have a good group of people. I mean, sometimes you get like, the sawdust, that somebody used the table saw and clean up after themselves. I'm not going to look at every single time, but if that happens, every single time I come in, there's sawdust and mess everywhere, I am going to start looking at it and just kind of take that person aside and be like, hey, there's dust extraction for a reason. So just, keep that, I keep saying keep that in mind. I don't know. Keep that in mind that other people use the area, so keep it clean. That's usually the best way. It doesn't have to be spotless.
How does a new member get onto Slack?
It's a good question.
Potential members.
I
I
think
think you can just join. I think the link.
I think it's FamilyLab.slack.
Yeah,
FamiLAB.slack.com. I think that's it.
I was able to.
There was another one that I've been giving people, and it was weird because it was like, you don't have a FamiLab email, you can't sign up. So I stopped giving them.
But you just go to FamiLab.
FamiLab.slack.com.
And that gives you an opportunity to sign in.
This should. Let's try it. Cool. I think if you're already a member, it'll just automatically send you into it.
Yeah, that's an easy way to know people are here.
Yeah.
Good time to visit.
Sign up. About special thing on
Yeah.
the website.
No.
Yeah, or if you go on the FamilyLab link.org website and then membership, I think there's also a link there.
Yeah, I think it is a little hidden because it's like you can sign in the Slack here and that's the link. But so we do need to kind of change that. Yeah, yeah, we do need to make that a little bit more prominent. The other thing is, and I know I'm beating that dead horse about the board thing. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but our phone number expired. So it was a Google Voice number, and you have to log into it once, I think, every 30 or 60 days, and either send a text message or make a call. Even though we were getting voicemails in, you still have to do some outgoing in order to keep it alive. And that kind of fell behind on our radar, and I noticed today that it's because I want to go renew the insurance, and I checked the number just to make sure it's not valid anymore. So we have to get a new number, so the number on the website's bad. Things like that are things that the board kind of looks after.
Have you not tried to just add the phone number again by manually searching for it?
Yeah, I tried. It's already taken.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's bad.
I think it's been bad or gone for a little bit, honestly. So, but that's not just on board either. That's on the operations side can do that. We can give access to a lot of stuff to just what I refer to as operations, just members that are willing to do extra stuff like that. I mean, we can give you a FamiLAB email account. It doesn't cost us anything. We're a nonprofit with Google, so they're free. We give you FamiLAB email. We can give you access. We even have Bitwarden set up. That isn't free, but if you are going to be doing things, it's not, it's $5 or $10, something like that, for us to add you. It's way worth it to us to have all the passwords in one place, and we can just share the Bitwarden account with you. You can go in and do what you need to do for things like this, or the link shortener l.familab.org that was down for a little while. It's been down for I think over a week now because I didn't have time to just sign in the AWS and turn it back on after some sort of outage that AWS had. So things like that we can certainly provision the access to that stuff for anybody. So just let us know. Reach out to the board. Let them know. Anything else? Any other questions? Or anything anybody wants to discuss?
You work for the first robotics people, the gamma rays?
No. Justin's been their contact, and he's been, like I said, with his new job, he's been super busy. But if anybody does want to reach out to them, I can give them their contact information. See, I know that they were kind of busy at the moment. I think they were, I don't know, but they were supposed to get with Justin on some sort of membership he was working with them on, so that they can utilize the classroom mainly for their stuff. For those of you who don't know, it's a robotics team for younger kids, and it's basically a mom joined it because she wanted to create a team for her son, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. She's got a whole team now and everything. She needed places to practice and whatnot, and I guess the first year you get a lot of grants, and after that they kind of stop the grants, so she doesn't really have a lot of money to waste, and she's doing things like renting time or space from the library, and then they're limited on hours, and it's just so she found us before Maker Faire, and then we talked to her at Maker Faire. Sounds pretty cool because one of the things I like about it is everybody loves the battle bots, right? Bots just attacking each other. That's cool. But these were not real world scenarios, but things that were more usable in the real world, where like there are machines that need to pick up a ball and put it in a receptacle or something like that. That's their challenges versus bots that just kill each other. Right? So I thought it was pretty cool, and I'd love for us to work with them. I
would design a robot that takes balls out of containers, so that you can just mess up the other people.
I think you might run one at a time. I don't know. If you can,
It depends on the challenge.
Depends on the challenge. Originally, they needed like they needed to set up an arena and leave it set up, so it was very complicated. But now she's kind of changed things around where it would be more like they can come in here and utilize this. I think the other thing they were looking for is mentors, though, for the kids. So if you're interested in that, let us know, or I can give her contact information to you, and you guys can reach out. But because occasionally, most of the kits that they get are like pre-designed. They usually don't need to cut too much in metal or anything like that. But in the event that they do, having somebody here that can show them and help them cut it would be great. Yes, they are younger kids, so there is some kind of liability there, but she is assuming that liability, so don't worry about that. But yeah,
Is that in the paperwork already?
We'll say yes.
Okay.
Enough paperwork that I will. But she hasn't even really signed up for the membership setup yet. So, because I think originally Justin was like, well, 2 memberships will cover you because you're bringing in a lot of kids, a lot of people, blah, blah, blah. But then the terms changed of what they were going to be doing. So I don't know. We have to talk to Justin about it. But
Okay.
yeah, there is going to be paperwork on there, which we have the liability anyway. The liability waiver is anytime somebody under the age of 18, somebody else has to sign for them, and then that puts the liability on them.
Okay.
It's just a little bit more of a liability on us as well because of insurance. Not a big deal. It's more of like, while they're here doing things, depending on what they're doing, we may not want the grinder running or big tools back there running without with them running around or whatnot. But anyway, that's a whole fluid thing that will work itself out as if and when they join it. Anything else?
Any other new members want to introduce themselves or?
Oh
yeah, sorry, I can. Forgot about that. I guess I am new. I'm Ricky. I build stuff a lot, so yeah, I don't know. I'll be here a lot making stuff.
I remember your interests were pretty vast, right?
Pretty broad, yeah. I mean, I think I was talking to George when he was giving me the tour that I've like. I know what I'm doing in all the departments. Although metalworking, it's been a while, 15 years or so. But I'm frequently doing like woodworking and 3D printing and electronics work and all that jazz. So I'm always making something random. So
that's how I am too. It's kind of like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, but yeah, having machines to fix here and stuff is always nice because I always need something to do. So in the events where I don't actively have a project, I can fix something here.
Yeah. Anybody else?
John.
John?
I've got nothing to make right now, but I want to learn how to use machines.
Okay.
Those ideas will come with that. I do have ideas, but I need to learn machines first. And
yeah.
Like yourself, scared of repairing something, so I might not know how to do it. The learning that it takes to get there is part of the fun. And as far as all the operation stuff goes, I don't want to overpromise and under-deliver, but I'm built for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So we'll just see if I show up.
Okay.
And all that. I've got my own small business.
Okay.
I work in the energy industry. Sometimes I'm out of town. I do metrology. I do drafting and design. I've done that since I was a kid. My dad was a drafter.
Nice. Sorry, guys. So my bedtime. I never make it. That's awesome. What's your business?
It's a drafting business.
Drafting business?
Drafting mechanics.
Nice. Awesome.
So I'm working in this energy gas specifically, but I've been doing automotive for the past 7, 8 years. Or Mercedes-Benz, so you may see me driving those around, not fancy little diesels.
Nice.
But just anything that involves those and work, just anything really background in woodworking a little bit, doing machining, electronics.
Nice. All right, cool. Nice to have you guys here. Anybody else?
I'm Matthew. I'm Matt. I go by a lot of any variation of that. I am a complete novice with all of this. I'm very much out of my comfort zone here, or just in familiarity anyway. My expertise is all in computer programming and software development. That's my area. I wanted to learn woodworking. I don't have any specific projects in mind, but I had it was can't think of the word. My great uncle used to do these wood tables with stone inlay, I guess they would call it.
Okay.
And I really loved it. He passed away, and I never learned from him how to do it. So wanted to try to pick something up similar to what he did. But other than that type of work, I don't have anything specific. I like the idea of working with my hands, and
There's
never
still-
had the equipment or people to teach me.
There's still a good amount of people that do programming and things like that here as well. It used to be a lot more abundant in the past, but I think especially around COVID time, people kind of started doing their own stuff at home. So I would say keep an eye on that if you're interested in. I don't know how much you know, or if you want to teach or learn more. Just keep an eye on Slack or talk about it in Slack. Check some Slack channels because that's usually where I think I see those people hang out. If you know anything about programming microcontrollers, I don't use a lot of help because ChatGPT helped me do that the best it could, and that's about it.
ChatGPT's not.
Yeah, it's not
You
great.
can do a little bit with programming, but not a whole lot.
It worked. It barely worked. It got me there, but it's slow. Like when I hold my badge up, it takes like 30 seconds sometimes before it actually unlocks the door. So.
No, I've never done anything with hardware for programming. It's all been software and app development.
Gotcha.
But very interested in expanding into there. I am mostly, I've done web dev, I've done C# and Java, I've done a little bit of C++. I'm a little bit of everywhere with programming. But
from my understanding, microcontrollers are pretty much going there anyway. It's like everything's IoT anyway, so I think it's all kind of blending together. I don't know. I'm terrible at all of it. So. That's one of the ones that I've always really wanted to learn because being the not so social person, I'd love to just sit at home and code, but I just cannot wrap my head around it. Like I get so far and then I'm like, I don't understand the rest of it. And then remembering where the parentheses and everything goes. It's just, what do you mean syntax error? Anyway, all right, anybody else?
Gary?
Gary?
Actually, not a member yet, but for 2 words tonight, that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw you come in. I felt bad, but we're in the middle of the meeting.
Okay.
So, so you haven't been here yet at all?
What's that?
You haven't been here yet at all?
Not the new
Okay.
space.
Okay. Wait, you saw the old space?
That's how long it's been since I've been here.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll show you around as soon as we're done.
Okay.
All right. Cool. What kind of stuff do you want to make?
You should just bought a Raspberry Pi 5 starter kit, so
Nice.
do stuff with it.
Awesome. When the Pies first came out, I loved them. I was getting every one of them, and then after the 4, I'm like, I gotta stop. I don't even use these for anything. I don't know how to program, but they're fun. I mean, they're fun.
Yeah, no, I've got stacks of pies because I usually would buy 5 of them when they came out.
Yeah.
Half of them are in something that's half done. So.
Right.
I've never worked with them, but it's something I wanted to work with.
Yeah,
You'd be able to get a Raspberry Pi doing something pretty quick if you've got any
That's what runs that door.
experience with programming.
Yeah. That's what runs that door. Is it's got a Pi 0.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. So it's so much for a quick meeting. So we'll go ahead and conclude the meeting now, unless anybody has anything else.
Oh, just a reminder that you guys that, you've got one meeting under your belt now, so if you're interested in get here again. And after that, to talk to Yourself?
Yep, myself or the board, just message the board. I'm I think on Slack, I don't even know my Slack name. It's like AM Remington or A Remington. I don't remember. I think it's AM Remington. But if you do at board in Slack, it'll alert all the board members. So just say, hey, I'm ready to join or whatnot. Like I said, if you want to come by when you don't have a badge yet, but if you want to come by, check in. If nobody's here, jump on Slack and just say, hey, is anybody around that would mind me coming to hang out, whatnot. So most people don't care, and they'll actually show you something that they're doing in the process. One thing about us socially awkward type people is that when you get us in a comfort zone, we'll keep talking. We'll show you everything about that thing we're working on. So
there's a phrase in Memoirs of a Geisha, and one of the main characters said to another main characters, "Don't ask an engineer how something works; he'll tell you."
Nice, I like that. All right, we'll go ahead and conclude the meeting now. Thank you everybody for coming online. Thank you, everybody that came here in person. Thank you. I was actually getting a little worried. It was like 7:30, 7:45. Nobody was here. I'm like, if I'm here alone, this meeting ain't happening. But cool. I'm happy everybody showed up. Thank you guys.